Okay, so we are here today with Alyssa. Hi.
Hello.
Okay, tell us who you are, why you're here, what you do.
I'm Alyssa. Um, I'm a everyday gray and everyday blonde specialist. I'm here because, well, I want to be.
Perfect, perfect.
But I just love how everyone is so, I guess, passionate and
So you stay for the people.
stay for the people and the clients. But I definitely love the team. I feel like the team is
Yeah,
a big reason why I love it.
big time. Okay, so you have been doing hair for how long?
5 years, I believe. Yeah, 5 years.
Okay, tell us a little bit about your journey.
Well, the beginning was rough because it was COVID. And I kind of just, in the best way, I got thrown into the deep end,
Yeah.
which I cried every day for probably about 3 months or more.
Not while she worked here.
Not here, yeah. And it wasn't for any reason other than lack of
Overwhelmed.
confidence.
Totally.
It was all internal.
Mm-hmm.
I loved what I was doing. I just didn't. I was having imposter syndrome. I didn't see that I was good enough to do it and lacked the confidence
Yep.
to.
But at the end of the day, was your job complete? Like, did you provide the outcome the client wanted?
For the most part, I would say
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Which then I think kind of gave me the
The confidence.
confidence. I didn't even
Exactly.
do my own consultations. Someone
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I didn't do my own consultations
Okay.
until I would say about a month, 2 months in.
Really?
Yeah,
That's so interesting.
I would just stand there while someone else would
Okay.
ask questions and then be like, okay, I'm gonna just do it.
Oh my God, that's so funny. So funny. Okay, so how did you this is a funny story. So let's talk about how you came to work at industry. What was the timeline? How did this work?
So I saw you in, I think it was January before you opened, so
I was
2022.
in the middle of a build.
Yeah, you were still building and everything. And I sent you a message because I saw your Instagram and I just loved it. And we did a little Zoom interview. And you're like, great, I'm going to hire you. And then I was like,
You're like,
no,
shit.
I'm scared. I can't. And then March rolled around when you opened. I sent you another message. And you were like, I'll still hire you. Come on. And then I was like,
But we met in person that time.
yeah, I came
Yep.
and I saw right before everything was built. You didn't
Yep.
have your sinks in yet. There was just a few last minute
Mm-hmm.
renos. And then I talked to too many people and
They talked you out of it.
they gave me a lot of doubt.
Yeah.
So I was like, again,
What
not
was the
yet.
doubt that they gave you? I love this.
Okay. My dad has worked for the same company
Yep.
my whole life. So he's like, stay loyal to the company. Stay loyal to the company. He's like, there's really nothing wrong. I'm like, then I said no, and then I was like, but there's really it's fine, but I want more.
It's not filling my cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I was like, I love what I do, but I just feel like the space wasn't fully aligned with what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So then I think it was June rolled around and I reached out. I was like, I'm so embarrassed, but I still want to work for you. And you were like, I'll hire you, but you have to quit your job first.
Yep.
I'm not going to tell anyone. You have to quit.
Yep.
So I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell my parents.
Yep. Did you tell Nate?
Nope, I didn't tell Nate. I went home and I was like, I quit. I'm going to start
That
in
is
August.
so good. I love that.
So I finished up, I think it was, yeah, about 2.5 weeks notice.
Yep.
Left on great terms, which was very different from everyone else's experiences. I love that.
It was a big eye opener actually, because like literally her old team, didn't they threw her a party. They did like
cupcakes.
the whole thing for her. She had also just written her license and got her license. Yeah. They celebrated that. They made this beautiful post like wishing her all the best and like tagging her so that her clients could see like where she was and what she was doing. And it was just so nice to see that like They were so supportive
Yeah, it was a
of,
really positive.
yeah, because again, it was nothing to do with them as people.
No.
It
And
was
I made
you
that very
wanting more.
clear. I was like, I do love everyone here and
Yeah,
I love working here. It's just
yeah,
there's something missing for me.
exactly, exactly. So I think it comes down to like the respect,
Yeah.
right? Like respect has to be like, once it's earned, it's there
Hmm.
forever. Like at
Yeah.
any given time, if you, for whatever reason, I fired you, which I wouldn't do, but let's just say I do, you could go back there and have a job in a heartbeat,
Yeah.
right? Like that, you should never burn a bridge when
I never
you're
want to.
leaving,
I
right?
don't
Like if
think I'm
Kay
that type
came
of
back and
person.
said, fuck, I don't want to be there anymore, can I have a job back?
Yeah.
Of course you can. In a
Yeah.
heartbeat, you can.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't even have to think about it,
Oh no.
right? Like it's
I'd be like,
just,
your chair is waiting for you.
exactly. So like to not burn bridges is just such a powerful thing, and they just supported you so beautifully and
Yeah.
so well, and it was
Which
so
then
nice to
made
see.
coming feel quite validating too, because it was
Mm-hmm.
like everyone is just
Exactly.
uplifting and
Exactly.
supporting me on this
Yeah.
journey.
Yeah. I love that. Okay. And then when you started with us, you obviously started like right on the floor.
Hmm.
Um, I would never have guessed had we not spoken. So, like, let's pretend I was just a stylist that you're now working beside. Like, I would never have guessed that confidence was an issue for you,
Yeah. A lot of
right?
people say that. I'm quite introverted and I
Yeah.
feel like so many clients, they're like, "Oh, you're so extroverted. Do you go out and like do
Mm-hmm.
things?"
You're
And I'm
like,
like,
no.
"No, that is my worst nightmare."
No, I
They're
do
like,
not.
"You're an introvert?" And I'm like, "This is the space where I just
Yeah.
shine. This is
Yep.
yeah, this is the one and only spot where
Yep.
I am extroverted. Everywhere else,
Yep.
I am I keep to myself and I'm very introverted."
Mm-hmm. So true. People don't believe me either, but I'm like that too. They're like, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm like, literally nothing.
Yeah, I read
Like,
books.
I read books. If
I
I go out, it's with one person.
yeah,
Like, I like to have conversations. I like to connect with people.
yeah, I'm not one that
You
thrives in
know?
big groups.
Yeah. Like my husband's grandma. The first time she met me, she's like, "I will never forget you were just sitting there in a room of like all of these people, a party going on, and you're just like sitting by yourself, so content." And I was like, "Because I was. I talk for a living.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be forced to communicate and talk when I don't really have anything to say."
No.
Like again, if someone like I will have that one-on-one conversation any day. The only time you will ever hear me like overpower somebody's by voice is when I'm here
Yeah.
because I have a team to lead. But like and my kids because I lead my kids, right?
Yeah.
But like that's it. Like I'm such a
I
and
love to people
you
watch
are
too. I
yeah.
like to watch. I just sit
Yeah.
back and relax and I just watch everything
So when
happen.
you're done your day and you get home, does Nate realize, like, is he super aware of, like, oh, she probably just needs to chill? Or does he try to, like, strike conversations and you're like, oh my God, I'm way too tired for this?
He's pretty chill.
Yeah.
He enjoys playing video games.
So, yeah.
So every now and again it's like, "Hey, you can do your
Yeah.
thing. I'll just read my book over
Yep.
here and
That took my husband a long time to learn.
yeah, we'll hang out
Yeah.
together but do separate things."
Yeah. Yeah. I think he was like, why are you so talkative at work? But then, like, you come home and you don't want to talk. And it took him a long time to realize
Because I talk all day at
because
work.
I talk all day at work, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm now spent. I just need to sit and chill. And that's why I love reading
Yeah.
because,
It's like that escape to
yeah.
just
And you're forced to do one thing. When
yeah.
we work, we're like your brain doesn't stop. You're paying attention to like the person beside you. You're paying attention to your client. You're paying attention to the front door. You're paying attention to like, oh
The
God,
phone
is that product in
ringing.
stock? Do I even
Yeah.
have that? Where is it? Like, I want to use this on our hair. Do we like
Formulas.
formulating like all of these things? Your brain is constant. So when you get those opportunities to like read, it's like, ah,
I'm in
what do you
another
read? What's
world.
your favorite genre?
Right now, I'm big on fantasy. I love
What's your favorite fantasy series that you've read?
oh, Throne of Glass. It's
I
my
haven't
Roman
read it yet.
Empire. I think about it every day.
You do?
Pretty much.
Okay, how many books is it?
8 books. It's a
8
long
books.
haul,
Okay.
but it's very much so worth the read.
Is it it's the same writer as ACOTAR?
Yes.
Is it the same world or no?
Different world, but there is a very small crossover in
Okay.
the last book.
Okay. So I found like ACOTAR was my first fantasy that I read. I haven't read a lot of fantasy, but
Yeah.
like I actually do think I want to read Thorn and Glass because everybody says this.
You're gonna sob.
Really? It's that
Like
good?
the last book, I had to put the book down and like, okay, stop, breathe. You can't see the
No.
pages. Just breathe.
And it's done.
Yeah,
There's no more adding, so it's
that's
done.
what she says, but people do have theories that she'll come back and add a little something to the end. But in Crescent
I
City, there's crossovers between all of them, but I can't get into that one.
oh, okay.
It's
And that's
too,
her too.
yeah, it's too futuristic for me. See,
Oh.
I'm more of a
So this is
futuristic.
what I was gonna say. So I found ACOTAR was like the perfect intro to fantasy
Yes.
because it's the mix of the real world and
Yeah.
this world. So is Thorn and Glass that way too, or is it strict like
It's strictly,
what's it about?
it's, you follow a main character who's an assassin, and you find out that she's
Oh,
basically an assassin against her will, and it's kind of her journey.
okay.
And then I can't give spoilers, but the world just develops and builds, and there's other like continents, but they're all like in a
Okay.
fantasy fae
Okay.
element.
And like do they ride something? Like how do they
Horses.
horses, okay. So
Or they
that
shapeshift and they
okay,
fly.
okay, okay, okay. That's
Yeah,
cool.
but it's very
So it's
like,
horses.
yeah, horses and carriages, and
Okay.
but it's not very romancy. It's like
Hmm.
hardcore world building,
Oh, see, I think I would like
character
that.
development, like great plot.
Yeah, this is what I say. Like, I will read, I love all different genres for all different reasons. But like, there are some books that I've read that are so smutty with zero
Plot.
plot or development that I'm like, I can't connect.
Yeah, I was saying to Sarah that when it got to the romance, I was like, I don't honestly don't even care. Just bring me back to like what's happening. Like I don't need
Really? I
this.
love that.
This is just sure it's adding to it in some
Yeah.
element, but like I just want to know what's happening.
Yeah. That's so cool. I love that. Were you a big reader as a kid?
Yeah, but I found I fell off once I got into high school, because then it was you have
Mm.
to read this book.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
You're
then I
not, yeah.
slowed down, but I definitely really did enjoy reading when I was little.
Okay. Did you always know you wanted to become a hairdresser or what? When did that happen for you?
I feel like there was definitely foreshadowing, but same thing with the confidence. I was like, I can't talk to people all day and do their hair and deliver and be good at it. Me? No. So,
Did you
but
take Cosmo in high school?
yeah, all the way
Okay.
through. I did the OYAP program in
Hmm.
grade 12, and my teacher was even like, you have to pursue
Yeah,
this. You have like really
that
big
natural
potential
talent. Yeah.
here. Like I just see you thriving.
Yep.
And she was very much so a mother figure to me, and I was like, no, you're telling me to do this? I'm
Can't do
not gonna do it.
it.
I didn't even write my second exam for the OYAP because I was so like
Oh,
headstrong of like, I'm not doing this. It
really?
wasn't until I started working in the salon where I was like, oh shit, well now I need my
Mm.
qualifications here. So I wrote
Yeah.
it probably about 6 months to a year later.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so next up in your life journey is you are obviously having a baby,
Yeah, baby
a
girl.
baby girl. So excited.
Yeah.
And you're going to take some time off, obviously.
Yes.
What does the future look like for you when you think of like Alyssa in 5 years? What is your perfect ideal scenario of
Oh,
life?
well, I still want to come back, obviously, and do
Mm-hmm.
hair. I feel like for the first little bit, I'll ease into it part time,
Mm-hmm.
but I definitely want to jump back in working and probably going to Disney World a couple times.
Yeah. How many kids do you want?
So I'm in a no odd numbers
Okay.
zone right now. We'll start with one. We'll see where one takes us. But I've always said accidental third, intentional fourth, because
Gotcha.
I don't want odd numbers.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think coming from having two
I was
sisters
just
and
gonna
there
say, how many
being
do you
three of
have? Okay, yeah.
us,
And then Nate has.
he has same. He's
Okay, yeah.
he has two siblings as well. But I feel like not that there was always someone left out, but there was always someone left
Totally.
out.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I feel like having even numbers
Hmm.
just feels nice.
I've like one of three as well. And then Marlon is also one of three. So we both said we were having three kids.
Oh, really?
Yep. And then we had one, and I was like, I'm never doing this again. And then, and he was a good baby. It just was so traumatic.
Yeah.
Like my experience was just next level. And I was the first of my friend group to have a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know how hard it was going to be. And I
Yes.
didn't know, like, I don't know. It took me by surprise how hard it was, but in a really good way, not in a negative
Oh, yeah, it
way,
was
just
hard,
a
but it was
hard way in
fulfilling
like, yeah,
still.
exactly. And we were always like, our kids fit into our lives, we don't fit into theirs, right? So like they just came with us and they just did everything with
Yeah.
us. They like King would go to Metro to sit in a board meeting with me, like,
Yeah.
like they just fit into our lives. And I was like, okay, I definitely cannot do 3, but I was like, let's try for a second. If it happens, it's meant to be.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I couldn't imagine not having 2,
I
you
feel like
know?
2 is the ideal number.
Yeah, but I'm the same. I'm like, I would never have gone for a 3rd
Yeah.
because, like, I don't want 3. Like,
You're outnumbered.
yeah.
That's, yeah.
So then, same. I feel like, yeah, the 2 or 4. Like,
Yeah.
I also really wanted twins.
Oh,
My first
right?
one, I really wanted twins. But when it was King and I went for that ultrasound, I was like, please, God,
please,
tell me
just
there's
one.
only one.
Just one.
Right? Because then again, that puts me at that 3 mark.
Yeah.
They would have had each other,
And
which
then
is
having
different. But
another after that would be so scary because
yeah,
then it's like, hey, what if I have twins again and I'm stuck with
totally.
5?
Then you have to go for 6. Imagine.
Like a school bus.
That's so funny. Okay, so family, obviously, lots of Disney travel, obviously.
Yep.
Could you imagine if your kids don't like Disney? What are you
We've
going to do?
actually talked about that. We're like, it could go either way. They're either going to full throttle and be
Yeah.
obsessed, or they're going to be like, why are you
Yeah.
making me come here again?
Totally. That's hilarious. No, they'll be full throttle. I know they will. Okay, so you're going to come back to work, but do you ever foresee anything else for you in the sense of like work related? Because I've told this to lots of people. I think I even mentioned it on one of these videos. What I want you to do, which we've talked about before, is that something you would ever consider? Don't say what it is because then someone's going to steal our idea.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I think
The
so.
education?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so. I think I've been thinking about it a little bit more, and I think it could be really cool and really fun, and it's something that's
It's going to fill a huge void
different. And
and
yeah,
gap in
there's
the
a really
industry.
big gap
Yeah.
that I have felt is
Yeah.
there that I think is needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. And like that's something that like during your maternity leave, we could like work out together and like start the process of, because your kid is just when they're little, they do
They
nothing.
do nothing, yes.
Right? So like, yeah, you don't want to work, but you also need to like fill your time.
Yes.
Because as much of a homebody as you might be, it's like, yeah. For me, I found I constantly had to be out. Like I went to the mall by myself and I'd walk.
Oh yeah.
I would go on walks every day by myself. Like, yeah, I had a few friends at that point who had kids after me. So like we would meet up and go for a walk or like go to the park or like whatever. But the days are so slow.
Yeah, and I feel like because just being on my feet and busy all the time, I feel like I'm gonna be like,
such a contrast.
what am I doing right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah. So like that could definitely be something that like, 6 months in, you're like, okay, let's start working that out together. And then, yeah.
Yeah, I think
because I feel
it's really
like
cool.
it could be really, really, really cool.
Even just in addition to other courses,
Exactly.
just to have
Yeah.
that alongside
Totally.
something else.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing is we have this entire space to film in now.
Yeah.
Right? So like we would set up all the back end stuff and Bailey has already offered to help with that because she's done it before. And then, we would have a day of like pure filming.
Yeah, of just filming
and
education.
I will babysit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like
Kelly already was like, you have to bring her in
totally.
once a week. I'm like, maybe not that often.
Yeah, exactly.
I will be here every month for meetings.
Yeah, right? And that's something else to look forward to, right? It's like, okay, you're still connected with the team. We get to see the baby. We get to like,
I'm I'm in the area. Yeah, but I'm like weekly.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. But yeah, I think that I'm excited for your future and your career. I think I've said this for a really long time. Like from the day that I met her, and then like a year in, and then like another year in, like she's continually grown as like a human and a stylist.
And I feel very surprised sometimes when I look back
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh my God.
I did
Even
that,
from like
like that was
starting,
me.
where it was like, hey, my first, even like, let's say 6 months here,
Yeah.
I feel like from that time I'm a very
Huge.
different person
Yeah.
than I was then,
Yeah.
in the best way.
In the best way. Exactly. And I think that's why like our team is so powerful and such a cool like element of our salon culture as a whole, is because like we're all so supportive in our own ways,
Mm-hmm.
and like everybody has their own relationships in their own ways.
Yeah.
And like you might think if you're watching this like, well, isn't that the norm? But like unfortunately it's not the norm, not in this industry anyways. And like we will confidently say, I'm not the stylist for you. She can kill that and she will do that for you.
Which I have done before.
Right? Like it's about that client having the best experience and end result. And if we're not that person, like pass it on to
And
who
there's no
is.
shame.
There's no shame.
It's I can do
Exactly.
it,
But like
but I'm
having
not the
that
best
confidence to
fit.
say there's no shame and actually like fully feeling that,
Mm-hmm.
like that's super powerful on its own.
Yeah.
And like again, stylists at other places might not have that support to be like, what the fuck, you just turned a client away? Or you told them not to pre-book with me? Like, what? Well, no, because there's somebody else better for them.
Yeah.
Like,
whether it's here or in a different
exactly.
States,
There's someone for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's someone for everyone. Okay. Thanks for chatting.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so.
So when are you working till? September.
September 5th is my
September
last
5th.
day.
Yep. So if you want to get in to see Alyssa before then, now's the time.
Do it quickly.
Do it quickly.